What's going on, all you samurai assassins out there? Phat Samurai Guy is here with Little Fat Blood, and welcome to another episode of The Movie Dojo, where we discuss martial arts cinema and action films. Today in the dojo, we are going to review Avengement. Here's a quick plot synopsis. After years of assaults on him in prison, Kane escapes for avengement on those responsible. So obviously, we have not seen every single Jesse V. Johnson film, but from what we have seen so far, I like the guy's work. I'm entertained. I did not know. I actually own one of his movies on DVD. I did not know he was the director of a film, the smaller scale action martial arts film called Pit Fighter. And I have that movie on DVD, and I enjoyed it. That's why I bought it. And I didn't know that was one of his early works.
Oh, fun.
So I didn't know that. So today, I actually watched The Beautiful Ones. And I was really entertained by that. And I highly recommend you guys check that out. And try to watch it in black and white. I don't know if you can do that on your monitors or your TV. If you can, I don't know how. But the original vision for that movie, it's like a gangster thriller film, it was supposed to be seen with a black and white palette, and it makes the movie a lot richer and better to watch. I still enjoyed the film in color. I actually own the movie The Package with Dolph Lundgren and Stone Cold Steve Austin. I haven't watched it yet, but that's another one of his. And Savage Dog with Scott Adkins and Marco Zaror. It's a very solid action movie. The story to me was a little messy, and I had issues with it, but you get a fucking rematch with, Adkins and Mark, so that's worth the price of admission to see those badasses beat the crap out of each other. So,
and we fairly recently just caught The Debt Collector and Accident Man. Now, they were both very well made for different reasons.
Yeah.
I enjoyed The Debt Collector. I'm becoming a huge fan of Luis Mandalore.
She's got a crush.
I got a little crush on that older gentleman. I ain't gonna lie. But it's not just that. I am a sucker for anyone who is committed to the role.
Yeah.
And so far, everything I've seen with Lewis is he's there. He's in the moment, and he makes you believe what he's saying. And him and Atkins had really good chemistry in that film.
Good fights.
I thought in The Debt Collector there were little moments of pretentiousness in the film scattered throughout. It seemed like there was this underlying message that all people are cattle in the end, or led to the slaughter, or something like that.
Yeah.
I did not feel that was necessary, but who am I to argue with the director's vision?
Right.
I didn't feel that it was too distracting to make me not enjoy the film. I really liked that film overall.
It's good.
And Accident Man,
dude, was
so much fun.
Dude.
You just gotta kind of watch it. It's based off a comic book. Yeah.
Yes. It's a dark comedy / violent comic book movie. And come on, you got Ray Stevenson in the movie. What?
Yep.
Right? The Punisher Warzone. That's right.
I like that movie. Fuck off.
Movie's awesome. And come on, you got a fight scene, all right, where it's Scott Adkins versus Michael J. White and Ray Park. That's right. Fucking Darth Maul. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Do you need anything else? But highly recommend you guys check out Accident Man. So we are fans of Mr. Jesse's work. And if you're watching this, Mr. Johnson, I want a short film or fake trailer of Luis Mandalore's ninja movie. He pulled up that ninja poster in The Debt Collector.
What was up with that?
I want a fake trailer or a short.
God. Yes. Yes.
But anyway, we became more fans of him over time. And Triple Threat, if you're curious what we thought of Triple Threat, go ahead and watch that review. But we found that to be entertaining as well. But now,
oh boy,
holy shit.
I'm not gonna lie. Okay, when I saw the trailer for this, I was already pumped.
Hold on, mate. Members only.
Scott Adkins' look for the trailer was already like, oh boy, what is this? And at this point, I think we saw Avengement before Accident. We saw Avengement a long time ago. We just never got around to doing the review. We had to watch it again recently. But oh my god, I'm
already pumped.
I was so intrigued by the trailer that when it was eventually available to rent, you rented it. So we have rented it, and then we had to buy it digitally because for some reason this movie did not come out on Blu-ray in the United States. We don't know why. Oh my god, Scott Adkins. For anything that I saw in the trailer, it is like 100-fold in this movie. Now, we've always been a fan of Scott Adkins for obviously his physical performances, but he's never really turned in a god-awful role with the exception of Legend of Hercules, but everyone was...
That may not have been his fault,
That's
though.
what I'm saying. That was a shitty film. It was a terrible, terrible mistake of a movie.
Yeah.
He had no business being in it, but unfortunately, when it comes to Hollywood big budget, he's always relegated to either this shitty whatever the fuck that was, or secondary background characters. Did you know that he was in... He was not in X-Men Origins Wolverine. That didn't happen. That movie did not happen.
Yeah.
I smite that film. But he was in Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
He was in Doctor Strange.
He was in Expendables too. So yes, the bigger budgeted films, he's got small roles.
The smaller the role.
He deserves a bigger vehicle.
Yeah, and I think
something with, you know.
Yeah, and I think Boyka was probably, which with first, of course, it started off as Undisputed, and it's still Undisputed, but Boyka took over. Like for as much as he really made an impact in Undisputed 2, by Undisputed 3, Scott Adkins as an actor was really starting to come into it a lot more. Yeah. And of course it was his own vehicle completely with Boyka, the fourth film in that series. And so I don't know, I had a feeling something special was gonna happen from the trailer, and oh my God, I can't even describe to you seeing him transition, because first, this movie is told in a very out of order, non-linear fashion.
Right.
Some people might not like that, but I personally, I loved it. If it's done well, give it to me. I'm fine. And you first see him as the actual what he eventually becomes, but you go back a couple of scenes and you see what he was like before all of this. You see the slow degradation and declination of what happens to him. And it's a trip to watch. It's a joy to watch. And again, we go back to Jesse V. Johnson as a filmmaker.
Yes.
I think this is probably... It's not probably. This is my favorite film that I've seen of him so far.
Mine as well.
Even Accident Man is probably like a second. I loved Accident Man. It was a lot of fun. But this movie, this movie is what I love about action movies. And it's not even like nonstop. It's not even like nonstop explosions. It's actually a really low key type of action movie. The action comes from the situations where you have these prison fights and you have these bar brawls and you have this brutal, brutal violence.
Fucking badass fight sequences, guys.
Which we enjoy.
Are in this movie.
Yeah.
Badass. You will not be disappointed.
Yeah, and we don't want to get into spoiler territory, but the basic plot is in the synopsis that you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
And you can kind of go into, we can kind of I guess don't spoil it, but he's got a brother, there's contention with the brother is involved of why he ended up in prison. There's this whole seedy underbelly of why he's there and why he got the way he was, and the aftermath of why he's going out for revenge. It's just, I found it to be a very well told and entertaining story overall, and it's one of those non-linear things that made sense. I loved the score of this
music
film.
Was great.
I loved the different scene transitions. It was that perfect amount of exposition, but leading into a scene transition, so the exposition wasn't. It didn't take me out of the film. I didn't feel like I was being talked at. I didn't feel like the plot was being fed to me. No, the exposition was setting up where we're going in the next scene, which is usually a flashback. Yeah. I enjoyed the hell out of this movie, in case you couldn't tell.
But props to, the cinematography was great too, but props to just Jesse, just being, everything being so well directed. Fight sequences, you could see it perfectly. Everything visually was great. But props to Mr. Adkins, man.
Oh my God.
Now, I never had, because you got to think, we got to think within its genre. At the time, during his prime, was Jean-Claude Van Damme known to be this great Oscar caliber actor?
That motherfucker had to turn 60 before he became like an actual actor. Go watch a Jean-Claude movie now.
I'm just saying.
His movies now, it's like, oh my God, he can act.
Chuck Norris?
Oh, fuck that.
Is Chuck Norris known to be this amazing actor?
He's not going to get a Van Damme.
But my point being is within its genre, I've always thought Scott Adkins' acting was fine. I thought
perfect within the genre.
It was very solid.
But then you had moments like Boyka where it's like, oh,
yeah.
we've got a little thing there. We've got some.
He's got a character.
Yeah, like an actual, wow, okay, acting, performance, but not just Scott Adkins as an actor.
In this movie, you slowly see the transformation of cool dude who just knows how to fight to fucking beast, an animal. I mean, he's fucking scary.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He even has this.
He might be more scary as this character than Boyka.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. Boyka is like the reverse of what he's like. Boyka starts off as this like monotone monster where he's I'm the most complete fighter, and that's all there was to it. But by the time the third Boyka film came along, he was this, fleshed out, compassionate, trying to reform and all that. Yeah. But this movie, you see him, like I said, you see him in parts before all this shit goes down, and he's just like this. He's
Scott Adkins.
He doesn't have the greatest ideas and plans, but he has this plan. But his brother doesn't really like it. Right. But you see it in his face how just regular average Joe he is. Yeah. And by the time he is Avengement Adkins, you can see the murder in his eyes, and it's fantastic.
He's Scott Adkins until the transformation to where you don't see Scott Adkins anymore. Yes. And when you don't see Scott Adkins anymore, and he's someone else. Bravo.
Absolutely.
But again, back to what you mentioned earlier, that this is not a non-stop action, explosions. It's not that type of action film.
No.
It takes its time with the character development, with the storytelling, and the suspense building. I was getting vibes from Unforgiven, man. I was getting vibes from just the suspense.
Yeah.
Almost as if it's a Western or Samurai Ronin film.
Yeah.
The tension just slowly built up to our finale, and it fucking scratched the fucking itch.
That's right. The most important part.
The action itch, it scratched it, took care of that shit.
It's a perfect blend of brutal action, brutal violence.
Interesting storytelling.
I enjoyed the
performances.
Story. The story is
music.
The story is very simple. It's pretty basic. The characters are pretty basic.
Yeah.
But it's the way it's done. And again, the pacing and the editing, it's going to make or break a film most of the time. And whether you like nonlinear films or not, for me, this movie just worked 100%. But this movie, it's low budget and it didn't go to theater, so it sucks.
It sucks. Fuck it. Never mind. You know what? We changed our whole review. Fuck it.
It doesn't mean anything.
No, there's not $200 million CGI. All right. Yeah. I think we're done here.
Yeah, that's.
Anything else before we give our rating?
Dirty even.
You feel dirty.
I
know, right?
That. No.
0 stars, right?
Yeah. No. Okay. All right. Sometimes I have a really hard time being objective when it comes to my ratings. Like, again, see the movie Mandy. I gave that movie 5 stars. Okay, yeah. I adored that film. Sometimes a movie strikes me a certain way, and I know it's not a perfect film because I can't name to you like an actual perfect movie because that's subjective.
Predator.
That's good.
But
that's in the eye of the beholder, I think. And I think movies are always going to mean different things to different people. And some people might look at this and think, oh, this is low budget. Oh, this is, accents are too thick. Oh, whatever. It's too violent. Or, oh, it's too slow. I don't know. But for me, this movie blew me away. I adore this film so much. And I know this is way too high.
Yeah.
I know this rating is way too high. Sue me.
Oh, shit.
Sue me. I don't care.
Woo!
I love what I love.
Well, you stole my fucking rating.
Oh, sorry.
5 stars, son.
Sorry.
Avengement gets 5 fucking ninja stars.
I'm 100% biased on this.
As much as we love Isaac Florentine and Scott Adkins movies together, not all of them, but as much as we like their movies together, I kind of hope Scott stays with Jesse.
And Jesse.
And they do more movies.
Keep getting Louis Mandalore. Because he makes a cameo and he's a brief scene in this.
I want the ninja movie.
Don't judge
trailer.
me. Don't judge me. He's adorable. And him and Scott have really good chemistry.
Yeah,
they have really solid. They have good.
I did hear Accident Man 2 is coming.
Yay!
So we're sold.
Guest starring Louis Mandalore. Just kidding. I'm sorry.
So that's it for today's episode of the movie dojo. Let us know in the comments below what you guys thought of Scott Adkins' Avengement. I wanted to thank all you badasses for watching. You guys rock. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe.